goes and everything, I don't have a cool banter question because I think we just want to dive right into it. But before we do that, let's meet our players. Yeah, we'll do this how we always do it. Let's roll initiative of that. Real quick, for anyone who doesn't know why they're doing that, is don't add your initiative modifiers, because some of you guys just has like 32 initiative now. But
I'm still at 0.
But anyway, I'm Itisdpayne, or Dave, whatever you guys want to say. I do a bunch of stuff on the channel now. We do a bunch of D&D and potentially other stuff in the future. And yeah, I do all that stuff. Oh
gosh, guys.
Well, you guys aren't going to combat. It's just fine. It's just who's going in what order.
That's rough.
This is boding really
That's
well.
That's real rough, guys.
Well, just be glad
today.
this
Good signs for tonight.
Season 1, episode 1 in the season recap is just like, hey, we're putting on the old shoes again. We're getting everything back up. I'm gonna mess with you guys as much as I can.
I was like, I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that I believe you. When you say
no one ever believes me when I talk. But yeah. So this is what I want to hear from you guys, because I looked at my notes right here, and the last thing written is level 4 acquired. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but these guys are level 4. They ended season 1 acquiring level 4. So. Oh, I wasn't expecting that laugh. So I want to hear from you guys what, like who you are, who you playing, maybe like a quick description of what your character looks like, and what's the cool thing that you guys have acquired from this level. Like, as somebody in this call would probably recognize, I don't need your life story. Just give me the highlights. So,
Are you asking specifically for like game mechanics, or you want more of like narratively how our character has grown? Both?
Not how it's grown, just like, I guess mechanic wise.
So like the feat that you got,
the
right?
feat, or like what you put points, or if you gained a spell that you think was cool between 3rd to 4th level. But yeah, or if you multi-classed, like, I don't know, maybe Zevarra did a dip into thief. I don't remember if that's actually rogue. There we go.
Are we becoming a warlock party? Is everyone gonna follow to call with me?
No. Still a skeptic.
You have to do a lot more proselytizing.
Hey,
you guys
Josh.
don't even know that I'm a warlock yet, so.
I know. Yeah. So how can we convert you?
I think suspicions have been roused from what happened last time, but I don't know if anyone fully knows.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys know the order. So yeah.
Cool. Well, my name is Nate. I play Zephan, who is a hunter. No, not a hunter. My bad. Destiny lingo right now. He is a rogue. Former con man. Still has a little bit of a shady alter ego character. Kind of like a false identity called Mad Dog. And for level 4, he gained the feat Alert because he was surprised a couple of times. And so now he cannot be surprised while he's awake or conscious. And he is hopefully pretty much always going to get to go first.
To hide.
Yes.
But I'm letting you know now, I will not remember that. So it is on you to make sure to remind me when stuff like that comes up.
Yep.
So.
Will do. If you're like, ha, snakes jump out and attack you, I'm like, ha, no, they don't.
So.
That should be fun.
It's okay.
That was the worst thing ever. When your rogue almost dies all by himself in a locked room.
And no one would have known.
Well, and for me, I could have put 2 points into Constitution, but
No.
I mean, that also would have been helpful as you were staring out windows and being charmed by them.
Hey, my bucket helmet would have totally helped with that.
Well,
It was something.
from our rogue to our paladin.
All right. Hi, everybody. My real name is Elizabeth, but I am playing Zevarra Gallina, who is a paladin. Appearance-wise, she is average height, slate build, brown hair with red highlights. Well, I guess depending on where she's at, she works as a secretary, so not always wearing her armor, but when she dons her whole getup, she goes for the slimline full plate armor and carries a long sword with her daggers. So at the end of season 1, Zevarra, who at the moment is in a fight with her deity, was a little bit invited to contemplate following another god. So at level 4, she didn't get any cool spells or feats or anything like that, but she did add to her charisma modifier as she, I'm guessing, has a little more spice and personality as she now has 2 gods warring in her head and for her loyalties.
My goal is just to make Zevarra Bird 2.0.
Just make me crazy.
The birds become Zevarra's gods.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Why don't you visit anymore? Hello!
Could you imagine the warlocks of the bird deities?
I don't even know what those errands would be. Yeah, I was gonna say, just like throwing hard candies at people's heads.
Take your Butterworth.
Stop complaining.
Here's your butterscotch. Alrighty. Speaking about warlocks. Go ahead.
I guess that means it's time to come to me. So I
the
am
golden child.
Joshua Logan, or J to the Low, or Joshua to the Logan, or Joshua Daniel Logan, depending on how you want to search me on the socials and the interwebs. You can find me that way. I am Aesheon Kaetchuum, and he is a 20-year-old, 5'11", 185 pound, light blue skinned tiefling with silver hair. He has 2 sets of horns, one that curls backwards and then over his shoulders and rests just above his shoulders, and another set that come out of his temples to the side. And his eyes are fully silver and have like a glow to them. And he is a wreck of a person right now, having all of the people that he loves and cares about taken away. Being an orphan himself, just having to deal with finding stolen children who were also orphans, has put him on the brink of almost a full-on mental breakdown. But in the midst of this, he has become an expert from some of his skills. And so he has taken a charisma boost. He has gained the proficiency in religion, even though he has just been pretending to be religious this whole time. And he also is now an expert in insight. So that is what's going on for him. And if we get into combat, you'll find some new spells maybe that will be very interesting for combatants.
Yep, non-level 4 spells.
They're all right now. They're all correct. I have a feat that actually fits my character and spells that aren't broken. So
that would be so awesome, though. Let's be honest.
Oh,
it literally, I could put like a divine figure in a space wherever on the board, and he just would deal out damage to people until they die or he dies. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great.
That would be amazing.
It was.
Is it the Adventure Zone? Oh my goodness, that song got really loud.
It's also very intense.
All right, I'm gonna change the playlist because as much as Dark Rat was fine, we're like kind of just chill recap right now. You know what? Let's play the Adventure playlist. I changed my mind. I don't want the adventure playlist.
I know I feel like I'm in a jungle.
I feel like I'm getting ready to go Agrabah in Kingdom Hearts. We'll just do the chill vibes right now.
I like chill vibes.
That's what we got going right now.
What is that?
Both musics? Oh, is this music?
Yeah, the roll 20 one is. I can hear the roll 20
as well.
Weird. I can't. That's weird. I couldn't hear it at all. I didn't even know it was playing. Thank you for saying that.
That's all good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
move our last person.
yeah.
Lore, and then we have to roll.
Oh, we gotta roll each pizzle.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that yet. I
Um,
get my D12s.
yeah, so let's do lore, and then everyone just get your dice ready. Thank you for reminding me of that. Well, yes, our ray of sunshine, Lore. How you doing?
Good well. My name is John. I play Lord Dockham, who is the fighter of the group. He's a former military commander that has left his army and has taken a quieter life, he thought, as a janitor for a detective agency. He is 45, middle age, so he's kind of that in-between graying, still semi-dark hair. Kind of a rugged build. You can tell he's seen a lot, been through a lot. He generally tries not to get too close to those around him, but has found himself having to work closely with this group and maybe starting to care for some of them more than he likes. So that is a struggle he's going through. And then recently, at level 4, I've picked 2 more points into strength for him. So trying to maintain hitting and hitting hard.
Little Ash is the one that you're really caring about, right? We all know.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, little Ash hit Warlock level 3. So
Yeah.
you guys will find out special things about him as Dave reveals them.
Yeah. Little Ash there's plans for Little Ash. I don't think any of you
I'm
guys
very
really know what they are.
Very scared by all of it.
Yeah, I never know what you're doing with Little Ash, but it's
To be fair,
usually interesting.
to be
Only
fair,
usually.
I will say, just to be fair, that sentence could be like, we don't know what Dave is doing with a lot of things. And especially as I hate being a player in these games. I get to do whatever I want.
He also loves to cause us pain, so
Yep.
Little Ash might die.
No, I think that would make some of you guys.
I feel like that would be very hard to do at this point.
Yeah,
There'd be a complete revolt. I mean, we already brought him back to life once.
I think once we figure out what he's doing with Ash, it's not going to be fun for anybody.
Little Ash dies, and Big Ash just goes Super Saiyan immediately.
No, he's gonna become a gunslinger.
Everything.
That's when I just let you guys know. I'm forcibly changing the system to Pathfinder 2.
Oh gosh.
Little Ash.
I'll take gunslinger. Let's do it.
Become possessed and turn into this like child goblin, just like flying through the air, murdering everything around him.
All right, well, let's roll HP. Zephan, what is your dice?
Hold up.
While you're finding that out, just to let everybody know what is happening. In this game, what we do is we roll for HP. So me and the player will roll whatever die it is. If it's a D8, D10. I don't think anyone is a barbarian, so I don't think anyone gets a D12. But we roll the dice.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. And you take the higher result. If we tie, we re-roll. So, what die am I rolling for you?
D8.
D8. I will find it. There we go. Alright, I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 5.
All right, 5 HP. Elizabeth Zevarra.
I lied. It's a D10. It turns into a D12 eventually, but okay. So it's a D10.
Okay.
Where's my D10? All of my D100s. We'll just use those. Okay.
I rolled.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 1.
Cool.
Okay. Ash.
All right, it's a D8.
D8. Oh, okay. Okay, I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2. Yeah, reroll.
Reroll. I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 7.
The 1, 2, and 3 were all on the same die. And Lore, what do you have?
Elizabeth, remind me, where do we see hit dice?
Should be right below your
Is it
Beyond.
D10?
life points.
It doesn't show up on
Is-
D&D Beyond.
No.
Hold on, I can
Fighter
look it.
Fighter is a D10.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that was a D10.
that's what I thought. All right.
No, I'm gonna roll the same die. Let's see. Can I roll a 4? I rolled a 9.
Ooh.
Well,
What you roll?
that is not good. I'm not. Hold on.
What are you talking about? It's really good. If
Oh.
you roll underneath, you get the higher.
I rolled a 5.
There you go. You take the 9.
That's right.
Dave,
I
Do you
forgot.
want to roll a D8 for Little Ash and tell me what it is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not a D8. This is a D8. 8.
Okay. I gotta do math.
I feel like I should roll a second die for. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I tied.
Oh,
You can roll again for yourself.
7.
okay.
Well, good for the NPC. All right, let's do the quick recap. Lindsay Sterling, when did you get into the playlist?
I was gonna say this is my jam.
Loving this.
But this isn't the vibes we want.
It is.
No.
Stay with these good vibes.
No. We need to. Okay, this is way more upbeat than I was expecting. We'll click this one. This is actually one of the songs I think we use in the Sanity Lost podcast. So, we need a little bit of intenseness, so I put on the horror playlist, and I'll change it as we need. But what felt like a while ago is we are now doing the recap. So, I think it's been about in-game almost maybe a month to 2 months total. I'm trying to remember. There's been some time jumps.
You
I know-
said 2 weeks.
Is it been 2 weeks? Okay. I'm gonna remember everything. Yeah, it's been well, yeah, 2 weeks, but I'm thinking all the way back in the beginning. All the way back.
Yeah, it's been
I think it's been
6 weeks.
we were in the
almost?
mirror dimension for a while, regular
Yeah.
time. So
but even before that, when you guys first started, when we first started, this whole group had a friend named Susan. Susan was a detective that brought them all together and built this little area, this little detective agency called the Ravenscales. I think that's what it was called, Ravenscales Detective Agency. And all the players knew is you had to be friends and have a cool story while you're connected to this person. And then they disappeared. And I think it was close to 2 months. I think it was about 2 months where there was no answer, nothing. They didn't hear anything. And at that point, Brumble Patch showed up and was like, okay, you guys have to start doing something. You need to start pulling your weight. Here's a few jobs. And they were like, missing kids? Let's do that. And so they proceeded to go meet some interesting characters. Sister Connor, as she told them, hey, I don't know, but the kids are disappearing. on their way home from all this stuff. From there, they go meet a few interesting people, go into the sewers, where they proceed to flood it and to get rid of a goblin outpost, not before finding, killing, re-aliving, and befriending. Words are hard. Their little buddy, Little Ash, a little goblin that is just a bundle of joy, depending who you are. From there, they proceeded to find a note saying something about Cresthaven, I believe. Yeah, you guys actually spend a lot of time in the sewers now. I'm looking at you spend a few times. Yeah, almost 3 sessions in the sewers. Where you guys go to find the Hog Lord, and from there you guys see, I think, something of a goblin wearing a hog helmet run away, and all this other stuff, and pretty much the sewers are flooded and everything. Moving forward, we have a little flashback session as we find out that you guys have to go into Cresthaven. We get a little bit learn a little bit about everybody, and then they go into Cresthaven, where they meet a granny who was nice and gave them a few informations.
Was she?
You had a good time in that
When we
episode.
first met her, she was.
Yeah.
Yep, and from there they snuck their way up into the mansion. Oh yeah, before that they had, I think it was, I think there was somebody that you guys were waiting for. I'm trying to remember his name. The guy that gave you the stuff to sneak in. I'm not seeing it in my notes.
It was Zephan's contact.
Yeah.
That was before we went into Cresthaven.
Sly, the halfling information broker. And yeah, so they do that. They sneak their way through the not Brumble Patch. Now I'm forgetting his name. Buckberry. Buckberry's mansion, to where they go through, where they find a cult of Rice, or Reese, or who knows how it's pronounced. It's weird. Of these people going through there. They sneak through. They find a few things, and then they find actually they meet with Brumble Patch, which Brumple, Buckberry. There we go. They find Buckberry. I realized I wrote the wrong name in my notes. But anyway,
through some very impressive deception, we might add.
Yeah, so Lor talked with Buckberry. I'm gonna fix that now before I mess up again, because that is, as the kids like to say, fake news.
That's sus, Dave. Super sus. Cat, Dave.
So they go through there, and they all run through a mirror where they go through a cool place. At least I think it's cool. I don't know what the players did after they met shadows and creatures running through, and then they find the orphans, which is actually an Oblex, an adult Oblex, which is a weird goo freak thing that was like, brr, and almost killed everybody. It was super cool for me. Anyway, I'm looking at this.
Bucket saved the day.
Yeah, so the stupid bucket saved the day. I'm realizing season 1, man, is like, it's a 13 episode run.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they finish out, they come out, they find the kids, they go and bring the kids home, and they escape with some, I don't know, some strange things. They get the kids back to the hall, the Crimson Stream, which was the temple that I almost said Susan, Sister Connor is part of, and where the kids were being watched over. And everyone kind of splits off, does their own thing, either bring the kids back, get some rest, while Zephan goes into the detective agency, looks around, and sees a giant FF purple graffiti inscribed, painted on the office floor. So now, that was season 1, and now season 2 begins as we start 2 weeks later after that event. And I asked the players, what do you guys want to do? And so we're just gonna keep in the initiative order. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know what has been happening, what you guys have been observing in this whole area over the past couple weeks, pretty much within, as you guys are doing your activities that we're going to explore now. You have realized and have noticed that Crest Haven seems to be more closed off. It seems like there's more of the Violet Coats, which is the names that they gave themselves, the purple robed followers of Reese that seem to be wandering around, but they're not causing trouble. But it also seems you've heard whispers and news of people not really being allowed back in. You've also heard that it seems like now the sewers, from whatever freak accident happened, seems to be fixed. The water levels are readjusting. There's no more random flooding that's happening. However, as you guys know, you are on the mist level. I think that's what it is. Let me open up this note real quick, and I will let you know exactly what level you are on. As I remember where it got put, because I reorganized everything. Yes, you guys are in the Cloud District, which is in the middle. There's the Service District that is beneath you, and the Mines, where pretty much they send prisoners and people who break the rules. Okay, wasn't expecting this song, but hey, we'll keep going with it. But it seemed like a lot of the water really ruined a lot of the Service District, and it seemed to flood out some of the mines, but you don't care about that because you're the Cloud District and you're above them. But maybe you do, who knows? So, that is overall what you guys have heard. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you may have heard of.
Do we know anything about the FF on the ground? Like, I'm assuming
it seems like there's more showing up. They, like,
the letters or the writing.
How about this? Everybody, you all can. This is what we'll do. You guys can choose one. Okay, this song is really distracting me as I'm trying to talk.
I like it.
All right. What you guys can do is one of you guys can roll investigation. I'll let you guys choose. There's 2 options. You can either do Arcana or Investigation, but only one of you guys, there's only going to be one roll allowed. And whoever's going to be as your main roller, you guys choose that at the front. And then everyone else that wants to assist will roll that check to see. It'll be either or. So you guys can you can either roll Investigation or Arcana on this, and you guys whoever is assisting will give a +2 to their number.
I have +4 to both.
All right.
Got +0 to both, so I'm out.
Yeah, I've got a 4 to both also. Or
Josh,
4 to investigation, but not.
No, I have a 1 to each of those.
All right.
Oh, all right. Do you want to roll, Zephan, or do you want me to?
I'll let you roll, but you want to roll investigation because that's what I'm hiring.
You guys,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, you guys can roll either or to investigate on. You guys can either roll Arcana or Investigation to help. I just need to know, Zevarra, what are you rolling?
I think Zevarra would go at this more from a knowledge stance, so exploring. So I'll do investigation.
Okay. So before you roll, let's find out. Yeah, and I was about to say, you just beat it's going to be a flat 10, so just beat a 10. for everybody, but to assist. So that's a +2.
Correct. That is a 17 for Aesheon.
Okay, so that's another +2.
That is a 7.
7. Okay, so you're gonna get a +4, and to gain knowledge, you're gonna have to roll over. It's a DC 15 check.
Okay, guys.
You got this.
I don't think I'm gonna roll with that dice. I feel Duncan's pain.
He wants donuts.
All right, here we go. Using a big, heavy dice. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. That is only a 7 on the dice, so that is a...
Oh, no.
11.
7 on the dice with
That makes
4 +4, so that's 15.
That's it.
Oh! I forgot
Okay.
my +4!
Yep.
So did I, because I was half paying attention.
Knew
Okay.
you had it the entire time, Elizabeth.
Thanks.
So, we'll say this, because with your, like, kind of just the way that roll just went down, like, you're looking through this, and you notice that this isn't normal paint. It sounds like someone's hitting a wall. I can't tell, but pretty much you hear, like, you look at this and you see the F, and it looks like this paint is burnt into the ground. It looks like the edges are singed, that pretty much it looks like it doesn't look like a normal paint, and and as like you get closer, you feel like it's like there's an aura to it, not just a magical aura, not that it belongs to a school. You're not sure if it belongs to a school or a celestial or an element. It's not very clear. That might be something you have to go research if you want to go into. However, as you get closer, and it might be the fact of you just witnessed and experienced the mirror, and maybe you're just, as you're inspecting it, your hand kind of, like, maybe a little ash runs through and like accidentally bumps you, and you just kind of like accidentally touch it, and you feel like a pull on your hand. It's not like you're not falling through or anything, but you feel like gravity is heavier, like on this F, like where, like, it feels like if the paint was wider, you might be able to look through, but that's all you're kind of getting with that right now. Further research and stuff and talking to other people can bring you more information. So yeah, that's but you're noticing that, and it seems to be not as many, but there's more of this FF being shown around the place, like around the Cloud District, and you're hearing news of it in the other districts of your slice. And so this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna follow initiative as well, and we're gonna explore what everyone is doing. So before Zephan gets called away by the dog again, Zephan, you had 2 weeks. What would you like to do in those 2 weeks?
So Zephan has, excuse me, Zephan has 2 things that he wants to do in these 2 weeks. The first of which is he wants to search for a special thermos. He's looking specifically for something that's really gonna help him stay awake for long periods of time, because his next plan is to go to the library and study up on Arush.
Arush.
A Rush.
Mhm.
Kind of had an interesting experience when going into the mirror dimension. He's always been a bit of a skeptic when it comes to, he knows it exists and stuff, but he's always just kind of been like, just take it or leave it as it comes. But now something seems to have happened. He's not sure what. Doesn't really want to talk to anybody about it until he knows a little bit more. So he's going to go and investigate.
Okay. So let's you want to see if you can find down this magical thermos that you were talking about first, or?
Yes.
All right. So where do you want to go? Like, you could go to the stores. You do have the contact with Sly. He might be able
I think I'm going to start with Sly.
All right. I wish I remembered what his voice was. But yeah. But you go to that bar. You going as Mad Dog?
Yeah, of course I'm going as Mad Dog.
Okay. Yeah. Just figuring I ask, and yeah. So yeah. Trying to think if I wrote down the name of the bar that he was in, but I think Sly moves around. So
I'm sure he does. So I probably went to the bar that I normally go to. Walk in, go right now, have me a pint. Get my beer, and then probably just kind of, the bartender I'm sure knows me, and I'm like, all right, mate, looking for somebody kind of, Sly roundabout here. You know where he's at?
Yeah, he's at the what's it called? The Nimbus.
Right. Thanks, mate. I'll just down the pint, toss the guy the money, and head to the Nimbus.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you head in there, same thing, and he points you to a back room, and shortly after, it's just, you know what, I know that Sly's a halfling, but I also think and this is just going to cover the fact that I can't remember how he talks. I think he would have something that would constantly be changing his voice, and so I imagine he comes in just like, well, isn't it my favorite tiefling? How was How was your boom?
Oh, boom was a blast, mate. It was a blast.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. Just remember, if you have anyone else that needs, a loud entrance, just, you don't know where to find me, but you know how to get in contact with me.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Hey, speaking of entrances, I've got a customer that's looking for something real special. I thought you might be able to help me find.
Okay. Is it music that will fit the theme of what we're going for?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm listening, but let's just see right here.
Didn't realize Nimbus was a mining metal club.
Industrial metal.
It's what happens, you random voices in the background, that when you have a playlist just called horror, you get all horror, and nothing else seems to fit here. Real quick. Yep. But yeah, go ahead. While this random person keeps looking through the music to see if they can find something.
Right. Tell the DJ to get it turned up, right?
Oh, there we go. That sounds a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
We're talking
more
here.
More conducive to the atmosphere.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm looking for a bottle of boundless coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. And I'm gonna have. Let me find percentage dice. I want you to roll. I'm gonna roll high or low. 50 or lower is low. 51 and up is high.
High.
I don't think I've nerfed that right there. If you give me a little bit, I don't have anything on hand, but
right,
I could look around for you. It's a big city. You have a timetable?
Oh, I'm looking for something in, next week or so is what they're looking for.
Okay.
He's These students got a lot of studying to do, got to stay up late, they want something that's going to keep the caffeine flowing, right? Or you can find something like that for beer.
No, don't we all? Don't we all? But, yeah. Let me look around here and, I'll get back to you in a few days. If I can't find anything, I might be able to, I don't know, point you in a direction maybe where someone can make something. Cause like, I can't have one of my favorite customers just go walking away empty-handed.
Totally.
So
Right.
give me a few days.
Sounds good. I'm always over at the Smelly Dog, and just drop a line up at me there.
Okay, I'll leave a package for you there if I find it for the dog.
Right. See you later, Sly.
Okay, later, my friend. And yeah, you head out.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll head out and head to the library. Not dressed up as Mad Dog. I'll go back to my room and don my normal tiefling above board attire.
Okay. I'm just writing notes, so. Alright, and so yeah, we'll just keep going in a rotation right now. We'll come back to your investigations as you go through there. So we'll next thing, yeah, Elizabeth. So what does Zevarra want to do in these 2 weeks?
Okay, so Zevarra also has 2, maybe 3, depending on how the second one goes, things that she's focused on. So when we first get back, she wants to go and check back in with Brumble Patch to give him an update and also try to maybe see if he knows anything about what went down in Cresthaven. I think Zevarra's feeling very confused and suspect of everything that they just went through. And then she also is going to go to the library or maybe a church or a temple. She's actually looking to research all the deities and the celestials because she's now encountered 3 of them and just wants to start understanding how they work, how they interact, and why there are now 2 gods in her head. But also trying to understand what's happening with Reese because the whole mirror dimension, I think, really messed her up.
Okay. So, what do you want to do first?
I think she would go to Brumble Patch first.
Okay. So, just making notes so that way we can fit there. And this is definitely not Brumble Patch music, so I think he would have the, just to see how this plays. I don't have to keep changing things. No, that is way too calm. This is like the same thing with the last time where it's just like, this music doesn't fit the thing.
He's the cop, just play bad boys.
He's the mayor. Guy or something. Guy Gulliver is the sheriff.
Yeah.
You need some like pompous-y, like uppity mood music.
Yeah. This is the fun thing of only working with playlists where I'm just like, I don't know. We'll go with this. So yeah,
This feels very mayoral.
So
I don't actually remember if he's the mayor or what his title is.
He's kind of the mayor, but he's more like the head of Cloud District. So, okay. And like just to remind you guys, he constantly told you guys like, look, there's pressure coming from above. So there's only so much I can do to help protect and guide you guys, but like he's doing his best he can. I am hating the music choices right now.
I love how distracting it is for you.
So, you know what? I'm just gonna click the adventure playlist, and I'm just gonna keep skipping it as the song gets bad. So anyway, yeah, you go to the. This actually works pretty decently. Thank you, the Heart of Ireland. It's the name of the song.
I feel like I want a pirate ship now.
Yeah, so you go in there and you see the thing, and he's just like, hello there. Yes, Zevarra. I would assume out of anyone, Zevarra would probably write the report that happened.
Yeah, probably.
Probably she's used to writing quick synopses anyway, to being kind of like doing secretarial work for Ravenscales. Yeah, so she's like, okay, not she, but he's like, okay, so if I remember correctly, I think I remember talking to Guy Gulliver, and some of you guys said that you were going to come talk with us before you went into Cresthaven.
Well, sir, we were in a very sensitive situation where time was very much of the essence. And it was a hard decision, but I assumed that you would understand our choice to put the safety of the children above the politics of coming to see you.
Oh, no, just believe me, I do. I see it that way. But, and he like points up, the people up there don't. And if things got out of hand, because Cresthaven does have connections up there. And there's only so much I can do to protect you guys. And trust me, I do. And I'm working really hard. And I'm glad that you guys got out, found the children and everything. But we have to work together. Now, I talked with Guy Gulliver and I said I would handle this and everything. You don't have to worry about. And it's being handled.
I'm sorry. Who's mad?
You and all right, you guys would know this, but people from the Cloud District cannot go up. People can go down in the districts. So there's the mines in the service district, and then the Cloud District, which you guys are on. But you know there's two districts above you guys that, unless for special reasons, you guys cannot go up there. And that is the Solar District, which is above you guys, and then the very top, which is the Radiant District. You guys heard about them, and oddly enough, the person you heard the most about this stuff from is Susan. It seems like Susan was somehow able to go up and down freely. And so, but you guys were never able to, you were not allowed to go up there when she would go up into the higher levels. You guys go down the lower levels if she needed you to join, but you guys can't go up. And this is more me just not explaining it well. You guys would know that when rules or regulations or something comes from above, like one of the districts above, it puts a lot of pressure on the districts below it. And so when he's saying things are coming from above, like, he might not be able to know who exactly, and no one might ever will, but it's just the fact that there is pressure, either political or like I'm trying to think of the word that is for, or like religious, or some pressure from above that is being put on the lower district. Thank you for the subscription.
There's your lore dump for the day.
So, but no, you would understand that, and yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and so And he's like, and you can see like he is tired.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really am trying, and we were good this time, but next time, we need to work together. Not all of us has the sway that Susan did. I don't even know how she got it, to be honest.
Sir, I hope you can understand our position. We have worked together many times, but not in this capacity. Susan always had the conversations, and I mean, you know me, I just bring you the report.
Mm-hmm.
This all feels new and untrodden. And there are things going on that I don't understand. Things that are so much bigger, mysterious, scary. It's hard to know who to trust. And I don't know, honestly, if you could have gotten us in, now knowing what we've been through.
It's not so much I was worried about getting you guys in. It was more to cover you in the background. Let's just say, for example, I read your report on how you got the kids back up, but let's just say if we work together, between me and Guy Gulliver, we understand not everyone is to the up and up. But we do have our resources that we trust. And we could have helped get the kids back home without Sister Connor having to come all the way across the district, and it's something we could have worked together with, and that's all I'm asking. I understand in the heat of the moment and everything going that things can be forgotten, overlooked, or anything, and I don't want you to think I'm mad. I really am happy that everything has happened. Guy Gulliver's mad, but he's always a borderline between mad and jovial. It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of depends what he drank in the morning, but to be honest, I understand this is new, and I couldn't expect to ask you. I couldn't expect any of you guys to fill in the shoes that Susan left behind. But I don't think only one person can. So, in the future, whatever job you guys take next that is high enough level where we have to talk again, just keep me informed. That's all I'm asking. So that way, we can make sure that whatever random things that get sent above, we would be able to help each other.
Well, I think that time might be sooner than you think.
There's
something going on. Have you been to Crusthaven recently? Do you know the Buckberries?
The Buckberries, they, one of the wealthy families, if I remember correctly. They, yes, they just put in a permit to have some festival, if I remember correctly. I think I sent one of my people over to look it over, and he came back and said it was fine.
A festival? Here?
No, it was a couple weeks ago. They just called it a festival Cresthaven or something. And,
has it happened yet? Did it already happen?
Yes, it happened about 2 weeks ago. Or
we were there.
Yeah, whatever time we're talking, it is the out of character, the one you guys were at.
Yes. Yes, we were there.
Oh, okay, yes. And was it fun?
It was weird.
Oh. Yeah, that kind
Everyone
of
was
weird.
happy, but not genuinely happy. I don't know how to explain it. It felt like everyone was acting, but then they also didn't know they were acting. And we looked like the weird ones because
You
we
do have
weren't
Ash.
so happy.
You do have Ash, and that's understandable.
Well, and Lore is impossible, so.
Are they getting counseling yet?
No.
Might want to work on that. Anyway,
Zevarra is just very befuddled.
Anyway, yes, I'll have to go look through the papers myself. It was a busy week, and so I gave it to one of my people, and I'll see if I can find those reports and see if I can find anything that was of suspicion. I believe the kids say sus, but I'll look it over and see if I can find anything and send it over to you guys. But from what I heard, you guys, I'm gonna ask, did you put in going through the mirror and everything? Did you like how detailed was your report?
I don't think I was. I think at this point Zevarra's holding back. So she probably put in there that they found the orphans in the whatever of Brumble Patch's mansion.
Buckberry.
Buckberry's mansion, and had to, she probably put in there that it seemed like it was something connected to Reese, and so like had to impersonate like a priestess of Reese, and there was something about using the kids for in some religious way, but I don't think she put the mirror part in there.
So not the mirror mansion part. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And so he's like, look, it is disturbing. I know he's a good businessman, and he's one of those people that have connections, at least to the solar district. And so there's only so much I can do, but I'll see if I can find any information on the mansion and all that stuff. It is also disturbing that there's Reese worship in here. We're gonna have to look into that.
Have you seen anything here?
Nothing in here. I believe you put in these purple. We haven't seen these purple cloaks and all that, but they've kind of been upstanding citizens. There's nothing we can really do to stop them until they actually do something wrong. But it looks like they're just window shopping or something. It's from what I've read of the reports. Guy might know some more, but it's until they actually do something that we have a reason to go after them, we can't. So.
Well, something's going on up there, and they're trying to use our children.
Yeah, we have put guards and patrols to just make sure that where we know the orphanages are and the routes between schools and stuff to be safe. So, okay.
I'll keep you updated.
Thank you. And if I find the information, I'll make sure it gets sent to you.
Thanks.
Okay. And so I guess before we go into the next thing, let's move over to Ash.
All right. So Ash has 3 things that he's been doing over the last 2 weeks. The first thing is he is going to teach little Ash the ritual to summon Tikal, and he's going to then talk to Tikal about a few things that he has questions about, mainly why Reese needs the kids and how to and who can travel between the planes. And then he'll be spending most of his 2 weeks visiting the orphans at Sister Connor's That's really kind of where he's at, like, because of how affected he was when he thought they were all dead. He just like, or having just witnessed them dying or him killing them, whatever the emotion was he felt there, just to spend time with them and to let them know that what had happened to them, he was going to never make happen again. And then, just kind of like everyone else has been looking into research, he really wants to look more into this planar travel. The mirror dimension, the FF things, the fact that there was someone who had appeared behind their place of business, and now someone has appeared inside of their place of business, and it seems as though they're using a magical transportation. He is very concerned about all of these things, and so that is what Aesheon will be doing.
Hey, so what do you want to do first?
We can do the ritual.
The ritual?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? If you don't mind, I want to close with the ritual.
Yeah, we can close with the ritual. That's fine.
Like, I want to do at least one of Jon's things, and then I want the ritual to happen. Be last, because I see what time we're at, and
okay.
I want Jon to survive the night.
Visiting the orphans, then, because that's mainly what he's going to spend most of his time doing. Is going to Sister Connor's, in his downtime, in his off time. Probably not spending much time with Brother Truss after the events of everything that transpired, because he is a ball of emotion and a wreck, and is in need of some healing of some sort, and he thinks he can find that in talking to these orphans and showing them care.
Okay, so
The ordeal.
yeah, so you go over to Sister Connor, and she looks way more like kind of relaxed. And this song makes me want to watch The Hobbit. But yeah, she looks way more relaxed, like she's gotten sleep. Yeah, and so she kind of comes up, and she's definitely in a better mood. For people who don't remember, Sister Connor is one of the sisters at one of the clergy members at the Hall of the Golden Stream, or Crimson Stream, which is pretty much a temple to Arush, the element of fire. And she comes out, and this was like almost a year ago, and so I don't fully remember her voice, but it's like, oh, hello there, Ash. How are you doing? Here to see the kids again?
Yes, sister. How are they? How are they holding up?
Oh, they're kids. They heal fast. Much faster than we do.
Yes. I would love to spend some time with them, and maybe eat a meal with them, and
Oh, of course.
just spend time like I never received
Oh, yeah,
when I
no,
was an orphan.
we haven't said no to you yet. It's been here almost every day since they've returned. And like, I guess before, like, after he says that, I don't know if you're planning on walking in there. Is that what you're planning on doing, or?
Yeah, he's gonna walk in to
He's
kids.
like, Ash, real quick. Can you just come over here and sit with me for a second? You're not in trouble. I just want to talk with you for a second. And she leads you over to one of the stone pews there, and like, I'm just gonna assume little Ash is with you, and she's like,
Yeah.
and she picks up little Ash. You know where they are. They'll be happy to see you. And she's like, and little Ash is like, gives a slight quizzical look, and she's like, and just like, I'll see ya. And then just kind of runs into the thing. You just hear like, just like just screams of joy and mirth, and it's just like, this won't take long, but how are you doing?
And as she's like asking that question to him, you can just like visually see his hands trembling. I think he's still like reliving that moment of when the Oblex just kind of like disintegrated, and he just thought that all the children were gone, and that was just like a moment of like his whole self just like shattering into like pieces that he doesn't even know how to put back together. And so like he is just like kind of like sitting there. I think he just begins to like openly sob with her there, and just I thought they were gone. I thought that I was the one who had took them. That I was the one who had destroyed them. I still have yet to recover from that. And he just like kind of like I think collapses onto her shoulder while they're sitting there.
Mm-hmm. She's like, and she like puts her arms. Well, yeah, they got arms. Alans have arms. She puts her arms around. She's like, there. You carry a burden, child, and just I know sometimes, like I know you're really close with Brother Trust, and sometimes it's difficult to share and talk about burdens like this with those that you're so close with, and I want you to know I'm not going to try to take you away from Odine and force you to come over here and worship Aerush, but if you need someone to listen, I owe you a great debt. Even though you were a ball of emotion and quite angry, I could relate. So was I. And even though, yes, it seems the ones most affected are the ones who give the most in times of need. But if I can give you a piece of advice from when I was an adventurer of the clerical sort, no matter what happens, you still saved lives. And if you didn't take them out, that creature, just imagine how much more damage it would have done. I know it's hard. And it might be something you're gonna have to deal with, but you don't have to deal with it alone. You got some good friends there. The angry man, as the little one calls him, and the half elf that, so far as the half elf, right?
Yeah.
The half elf that just keeps trying to keep you in line, and what's well, the other one I'm not really sure if you can probably trust him, but anyway, out of the two other ones, those are some two real good people you can really trust. And look, they might be frustrated in you at times, but they have time and experience, and maybe sometimes just, I don't know, just listen and just work with them. You remind me a lot of myself, just firing off at the handle as soon as something went wrong, but you do that, you could possibly cause more trouble than this dumb music player that keeps playing tribal music. It could cause more trouble than anyone can handle on their own. And so, honestly, if you want to come back and talk, I'll listen. But it's totally up to you.
And Aesheon just kind of begins to wipe the tears away from his eyes as
she gives you like a
begins to
tissue hanky thing.
as he like begins to kind of just like get himself together, and you can see that there's like a sense of pride in him that he didn't just like thaumaturgy all over the place in the process of that. And he, as he kind of gets himself together, he looks at her and he goes, "How is she doing? The special one." The one with the powers.
Oh, yes. The one where the DM can't remember if it actually had a name. That's right, it's called that child. Oh, Gemma. Gemma, she's doing good. She's, well, she stopped the rats coming into the storehouse. That was nice. But no, she's doing good. It's, we don't know who elemental power she's going into. But honestly, the churches, the halls, we're all talking together, and we're trying to find out a good way. It's normally someone with druidic abilities is part of their own school, and no, that school's not even the right word. Like, we don't see druids very often in the hallowed halls, so we're a little confused on how she gained her abilities, but it's interesting. We're working with it. But oh, I don't want to take up all your time. We can talk more. My door's well, not always open. I do sleep at night, but if there's any day that you want to come over, just come over a little bit early before they have dinner. I'll make sure you have a seat there, and we can just keep talking a little bit, okay?
That's much obliged.
Mm-hmm. There, and you might want to blow your nose.
And so he blows his nose, but as he blows his nose, he thaumaturgies. And so like lights are flickering, doors are popping open because he can't control himself.
Yeah, baby steps. Okay.
And then I think he just goes and finds little Ash with the kids.
Yeah. And you and apparently have the most intense dinner that you ever had in your life. Pulled pork.
And as he enters in, he just starts to Eldritch Blast every single child.
I need the temporary HP.
That'd be a great horror podcast title. Pulled pork. Please,
Gross.
leave so much to the imagination.
I can't believe there's
Well,
10
I'm done
seasons
role-playing.
on pulled pork. Alrighty, and so from there, we'll, as they all go and dig into whatever they're eating, I don't know, pulled pork was the first that came to mind. We'll shift our attention to Lor. What did you want to do within these 2 weeks?
All right, so Laura's going to be doing two things. One, he's going to be checking back in with his students that he has been training, giving combat training with, kind of coaching through. So he's going to check back in with them, see how things are going there. And then he's also going to start, because he was a former military commander, he's got military contacts that he had relationships with, friendships with, and so he was friends with one of the intelligence officers, and so he wants to meet with him and start making some inquiries to Susan's disappearance, as well as seeing if he can have them dig up some information on Buckberry. And so he wants to meet with them and just kind of start getting some of those feelers going out.
Hey. So what do you want to do?
I would say he would start with checking in at the school.
So yeah. You walk I don't know why I keep having it on this screen. Let's go to the actual screen where you can see all the different districts. That way I can remember their names. I believe Art Clay is where all the kind of official stuff in the schools would be. Mm-hmm. So you walk in there, and I imagine a guy's actually there, and you're just like, kind of gives you an eye, just like, ugh. And he's like, they're in the back. And so they go back there and do your training thing, and yeah, you have the 2 students.
What were the names again on them? Do you
I am trying to remember.
I did not jot them down either.
Through my notes. The fun thing is, I think that episode is the one thing I don't have notes on.
Which episode was it, Dave?
5.
Okay,
I think it was 5 when you guys had all the. I'm looking at it again.
Could always just make up names again.
Yeah.
They're still very side characters.
I don't think they had names, but I could be wrong.
I didn't have names from my notes. For lore, at least.
But okay, well, as you get names, we'll just call them guy and girl for right now, and because I think it was a guy and a girl, and so they came up.
Okay, just real quick. So were they the only 2 students, or were they kind of like the top students that sort of like were?
I think they're the ones that stand out.
Yeah,
right
kind
now.
of like, sort of like, and I envision it like they kind of like run things when I'm not there. Like they're talented enough that they can kind of keep things going while I'm not around.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So
yeah.
Anyway, so kind of where Lor's at right now. So after the situation with the kids and rescuing them, he feels this intense urgency to make sure his students are prepared combat-wise to defend themselves and protect themselves, because there's this entity out there or group that is clearly taking kids. And so he feels this intense pressure that he needs to get these kids trained and ready to go as soon as possible. So that's kind of where he's coming at. He's coming in hot a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I have to look up something.
Sure.
Let's see. So, Josh, were you able to find names on them?
No, I didn't see any names.
Nah, okay, you're fine. So, we'll come up with names right now. So, do you have an idea for names for either of them?
We can call the boy Cal. Cal's a fun name. And the girl can be Risa. So Cal and Risa.
Risa. Okay. All right. So yeah, they come up and you do your training right now, and they're just like, Cal's just like, well, I'm trying to remember what Lor's last name is now.
Dockhand.
Hey, Dr. Dockhand, everything okay? Like, you seem to be running us a little bit harder than normal.
Lor kind of grumbles. He's like, everything's fine. And out of the corner of his eye, he catches one of the students that their form is slipping a little bit, and he points out, and he's like, "You reset, run it again, run it back, everybody reset, back to starting positions. We're going again."
Yeah, that kid like blows chunks. He's just like, well, just like, and like you just hear like this girl's like, Jeffrey blew it again.
And Lor's just, just the impatience, is there. He's like, stand up, just leave it, stand up. Nothing's going to stop you from throwing up on the battlefield. You need to be able to fight through anything. I want you to fight standing in it. Everybody line up. Let's go. We're starting it again.
You feel a tap on your arm right now.
What do you want?
It's Risa. It's just like, Um, Instructor Darkhan, or whatever your name is, I can't remember.
Dockham.
Dockhand. We've been kind of going for like 3 hours now. It's I'll clean it up. Can just let him take a breather. Is that okay?
We don't have time for breathers. When you're out on the battlefield, you don't get to call time out. The war keeps going and you keep fighting, and if you get tired, you die.
Oh. Okay.
So we're not taking breaks today. Everybody line up. We're running it again.
Can we at least have some water? Do you at least have like water while you're on the field?
There's no water breaks on the battlefield.
This is the worst battlefield I've ever heard of.
You need to be able to fight through all forms of discomfort.
And like Cal and Risa look at each other and are just like, well, Instructor Dockhand, I challenge you.
Lor looks at him. He's like, "What? We don't have time for this."
I challenge you for command. And he like holds his wooden sword out, and he's just like,
Lor looks at him and he's like, "You think that this is how this works?"
I don't know how anything works right now, man.
The way this works is I tell you what to do and you do it. I have the knowledge that's going to keep you alive. You need to listen to me, do what I say, or you're going to end up dead in the sewer out in the streets.
Okay, well,
I need you to back me here. There's a reason that I have you in a place of authority. There's a reason why I look to you to help train these kids. You have something. You have the skills that are needed to be able to protect yourself. And I need you to help me impart that on these other students. Otherwise, they're going to come up. I've seen things in the last few weeks that you guys are entirely unprepared for. And you're not going to be ready for this. You're not going to be able to survive unless you have the combat tactics and the skills that I can teach you. And that's why you need to listen to me, and you need to be practicing, and you need to be focused.
We are focused. It's just, I don't know, man. It's our professor or instructor, whatever I called you.
It's not good enough. We need to be better.
I don't disagree. Like, everyone needs to be better, but like, some of these guys just joined today.
I understand that, and they are behind. We need to accelerate them as quickly as possible.
And like Risa steps in, just like, if we could, like, maybe we can find a way to work together.
I'm listening.
So everybody here, like, look, we know we've been running kind of, this is like the 5th day now that we've been doing this, but people are kind of getting a little bit tired, but not that. I think we pretty much need to find our focuses. Not everyone is able to, well, wield that, as she points to, like, you use a great sword, right? Or like a big, what's your weapon?
I use 2 short swords.
Two short swords.
Wield. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not all of us can do that. But maybe what we could do is find where our strengths work. Like, for example, I know that as I lost the link, as I lost the information for these kids I had. Let's see. Like, she's like, look, I've been really just really learning your battle tactics, like where I'm able to just use them and able to pretty much like be able to do tactics and help control the field and everything, where, as you said earlier, not my strength, but using the strength of others, mainly enemies, to just get them all mixed up. And like Cal speaks up and he's just like, and yeah, it's I'm, as look this thing up real quick, it's just I'm more focused on like this whole resolve and like just being unbreakable, as like you kind of see his weapon is more like katana-esque, and it's just like, where it's just like, I'm not gonna get this works. I'm not gonna give up in a fight. But like Jeffrey over there, like, let's be real, he's not built for either one of these things. He's just more like a tank. He's just gonna sit there and take fights, but like he's not gonna be able to do the laps and all these formations when he's just good for taking hits and hitting things harder. So maybe we just gotta, like, I don't know, find what everyone's kind of good at, and then with that we can excel in helping each other protect whatever you saw threatening. I don't know, man. That's what Guy's kind of telling us, like, work together, find out the information and see where we can, our strengths together.
Lor kind of, you know, nods to himself a little bit. He's, you know, quiet for a moment. And he says, this is why I raised you two to the top. You're able to see those around you and the skills that they have. You're able to analyze them. You're able to analyze the battlefield. You're able to, you know, see what's happening around you and leverage your forces and your compatriots. So what I want you to do is I want you to assess all the students, find where their strengths and weaknesses are, and then assign them to the matching weapons or fighting styles, so that we can start getting people focused on what they're good at. That's going to accelerate and get them where they need to be, or where I want them to be.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah. And looks at Reese and she's like, yeah, no, that's something we can definitely do. Like, it's probably gonna take a couple days. Like, is that okay in your time schedule?
It's a start.
Right.
And then, as so Lor turns to walk away, kind of satisfied that they're handling things. But as he's going, he stops and turns around, and he says, "One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful how close you get to your fellow warriors, because they will fall in the battlefield, and you cannot let that stop you. You can't let that affect you. Don't let yourself get too close." Yeah. And he turns around and walks away.
And you just hear, like, as you kind of walk, I was like, yeah, I don't want Jeffrey puking on me either. I don't want to be close.
All right, and as he's walking out, he stops, speaks to Guy, and kind of, you know, gives him an update on what's going on, and says, I need you to keep an eye on these kids and keep on them. I want regular training schedules throughout the day, every day. I'll leave in your discretion to give them breaks when needed, but they need to be on a constant training schedule. There's something bigger coming, and we need to be prepared for it. This is no longer about competitions and training. This is becoming life and death, and they need to be ready.
Yeah, I think this was my voice, but I totally agree. Hopefully, I've been watching, and it looks like you got a little bit schooled, but anyway, as my teacher once told me, once we stop learning, we stop moving. So, don't worry. We'll work with them. We'll make sure that they get the... It's probably about time we started focusing them anyway. You laid a really good, strong foundation, especially in those two. Cal and Risa, they got a bright future. But, look, man, if I'm gonna be honest... No, and I'm just gonna put aside how pissed I am that you literally did not come back the next day after you said you were. But I'm a man that can see what happened and the outcome. Let's just come on, you know. If Brass doesn't know, Brass can't help. So let's do this. Let's work together. But anyway, moving forward. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that.
Lor kind of claps him on the shoulder and says, "Thank you, my friends. I know I haven't been here as much as I need to. We have a lot going on, and I plan on filling you in soon. But at the moment, it's better that you don't know. Keep your focus on the kids, and I will be checking back in more regularly. And I am going to be an active part of this."
Oh, that means we're gonna clean up a lot more puke, aren't we?
You better believe it.
Good. Well, Jeffrey could probably use a few more laps anyway. Don't worry. Let's how about this? Let's meet back up in 2-3 days, and me and you talk, and let's come up with a plan so that way we're not counteracting each other.
That sounds good to me.
Cool. All right.
All right, I'll see you then.
All right.
That was the most inspirational old grumpy man speech I've ever heard, and the music was amazing.
Most inspirational, and then immediately, don't get too close.
What
Well,
kind of garbage
you have to be ready.
is that?
Lor
But you
has
gotta do it by
damage.
yourself.
Hey, me and John have talked, and when that
There are things.
yeah, let's just be glad it came out of the attic and not the basement. Alrighty. Alright, last thing. We're in the last thing. This is the last thing of the night. The thing I wanted to end on. The ritual. And this music is music I wish we had earlier, but not now. Let's see if I can find that one song that I can't remember the name of that sounded really good, but we definitely got to go back to the harp playlist. Okay.
Doesn't sound foreboding.
So, we're in the room. If I remember correctly, we're just gonna go quickly on how this is normally set up. Ash, you set up the candles. The blue greenish flame that is normally lit upon them is there. You have little Ash there.
And I'm showing him how to break the daylight sticks and to just kind of emanate that light power throughout the room.
Yeah,
And
so,
I'm showing him how to draw the symbol on the ground. Like, so I'm using his hand to trace it as we're tracing this symbol on the ground to create the space for him to be able to appear.
all right. And so you do the ritual. I can't remember. Did we make you roll something to have it happen?
No, I had to roll to see if little Ash would become a warlock.
Okay. So
That was the only time we had to roll for it.
okay, yeah. So the room dims as your tapes, not tapes, but like your drawings light up, and this green. Now I kind of gotta remember what to call it.
He has like
Is he
emerald cracks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like
He's like a hooded figure, and he has a face of a snake.
yes. Okay.
And
That's
then there's like emerald cracks all over.
I was making
his...
sure because I was getting him mixed up with the different celestial, or I was getting one of the celestials mixed up. But yeah, the snake comes up, and it's just this hooded snake, and you just see
he has
it.
that he has that peacock plume from behind.
Yeah, and but like out of the darkness, you just see these two slits with cracks just kind of forming up and down it. And he just looks at just like, oh, my child. Oh, it's been a while and I've heard of your adventures echoing through the dimensions, but what do you want to talk about?
And Aesheon like gets this like wry smile on his face, and like there's just something about being in the presence of Tekal that like eases all of the like brokenness that he's feeling right now. I don't know if it's because like Tekal's like his father, or just he feels like the energy coursing through him as Tekal is present. Like it's almost as if like Tekal is like giving more and more power into Aesheon as he meets with him. And he says, do you remember in the mirror, on the way to the mirror realm, you gave me something for little Ash. Ooh. And I think you said I'll know when it's time to give it to him, but is now the time?
Let's take a look. And little Ash, can you remind everybody what it was? Like, it was an item, right?
Yeah. So when we were going through the mirror realm, little Ash received my book, my tome, and I received little Ash. I received the sword that was kind of like wrapped. And Tekal said, "I'll know what to do with it when it's time." But it was this like, I feel like he like handed it to me when it was large. It became like small. I forget the whole
sword or
whole thing. Yeah, the sword.
Yeah.
There was like some weird special thing about it.
Yeah. And so he's like, yes, well, there's only one way to find out, child. Do you give it to him?
And so Aesheon pulls out this like wrapped sword and begins to unfurl it. And then he like bows before Tekal and lays it at Tekal's feet, where Aesheon little Ash is right next to him, with the handle like right at little Ash, and little Ash does the same like bowing motion as his hand like touches the sword.
Alright, so little Ash's hand. Roll perception real quick.
That is a natural freaking 20.
Okay.
So that's a 20 plus, so it's a 21 total.
Yeah. So you see him reach out with his metal hand to grab this blade, and this flash of light illuminates the room, and it just reverberates, and you can feel the thing, and you can see like the shadow of a blade retract into the metal, his metal hand. And at the same time, you see a look that you never seen on Tekal's face before. It's a look of shock as he looks at you and he's just, child, this one is owned by someone else. We'll call it a night.
What does that mean?
Gosh, what are you gonna do? Ash is gonna have a whole mental breakdown.